Jennifer Aniston was never the same after her divorce from Brad Pitt. Jennifer Aniston and Brad Pitt's lavish wedding, that reportedly cost them a pretty penny, was like something out of a fairy tale, but not all fairy tales end happily ever after. After spending 7 years together, the couple separated, a divorce soon followed, and Aniston was never the same. Amid rumors and speculations about the real reason why Pitt and Aniston broke up, the Morning Show star mostly stayed on the high road but occasionally hinted at what went wrong. Speaking about her in an interview with Vanity Fair following the breakup, she offered, "There's a sensitivity chip that's missing." Aniston's brittle straightforward description of Pitt after their split says so much about the man she once called the love of her life in a primetime interview where she once guessed about her instant chemistry with Pitt from their first date. So where does the Pitt-Aniston relationship stand now years after their divorce? While they eventually forged a friendship, it wasn't always an easy road for Aniston. "I would say my late teen I'd gone through really hard, and if it wasn't for going through that, I would never become what I was meant to be," she said in a 2022 interview with Aller. "That's why I have such gratitude for all those things," she added. "Otherwise, I would been stuck being this person that was so fearful, so nervous, so unsure of what they were. And no, I don't think care." It's no stretch to say Jennifer Aniston's life changed following her split from Brad Pitt. Here's how. Jennifer Aniston turned to therapy to help her through divorce from Brad Pitt. In early 2024, Jennifer Aniston and Brad Pitt announced their separation. A few months before that, the final episode of Friends aired. Needless to say, Aniston's world went through a serious shakeup. On the final episode of The Ellen DeGeneres Show, the beloved sitcom star reflected on how her life changed after she closed the book on the Friends chapter. "I got a divorce and went into therapy," she quipped. And then I did a movie called The Breakup. I just kind of leaned into the end." Although she kept it light in the aforementioned date and talk show interview, the truth is that Aniston is a big proponent of therapy and what it can offer. As she told Vanity Fair in 2024, "I think it's an incredible tool in educating the self on the self. I feel very strong. I'm really proud of how I've conducted myself." At that time, the breakup star may have been talking about her divorce from Pitt, but in her 2022 interview with Aller, she shared that some of her emotional scars were established long before she met her ex. Aniston has admitted that watching her parents' divorce affected her relationships all her life. "I have had to do personal work that was long overdue, parts of me that hadn't healed from the time I was a little kid," she confessed. "I've realized you will always be working on stuff," she added. "And a constant work in progress. Thank God. How uninteresting would life be if we all achieved enlightenment and that was it?" Practicing self-care became a big part of Jennifer Aniston's life after Brad Pitt. Self-care can mean different things to different people, from a spa day to a long walk or dinner with friends. For Jennifer Aniston post-breakup, it meant treating yourself the way you would your best friend, with kindness and compassion. After her split from Brad Pitt, Aniston spent a lot of time at home with her dogs in what she told Vanity Fair was an effort to take care of myself and my heart. "I feel like I'm nesting. I love being home," she said. The actor acknowledged that she did have her moments of self-pity and loneliness, but that ultimately the experience of retreating from the public eye was good for her. "You're forced to rediscover yourself and take it to another level," she said. "If you can find a way to see the glass half full, these are the moments when you learn the most. I've had to reintroduce myself to myself in a way that's different." As part of that nesting, she gave the home she once shared with Pitt a makeover that was more reflective of her casual, laid-back style. After spending years in a house that boasted a modern aesthetic favored by Pitt, she pivoted to a warmer, cozier vibe. And in an effort to find the silver lining in her situation, Aniston joked, "I can have a comfortable kirk." Jennifer Aniston found her strength within her struggles. In a case of what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, Jennifer Aniston didn't break down under the public scrutiny following her divorce from Brad Pitt. "I had a choice to make. Either I'm going to surrender into bonbons and living under my covers or I'm going to go out there and find a creative outlet and thrive, and that's what I did," she told The Hollywood Reporter in 2022. The star noted that her mother shaped her approach to moving on, though not intentionally. "I also grew up watching someone sit comfortably in victimhood, and I didn't like how it looked," she said. "I knew that this person was giving me an example of what I'd never want to be, and I will never ever be that. I think it's toxic, and it erodes your insides and your soul."